Okay, so a particle is projected from point O, okay, with initial speed u, okay, that's what's given in the question, at an angle of elevation of alpha above the horizontal, and moves freely under gravity, okay. When the particle has moved a horizontal distance x, the height above O is y, okay. And what they're asking for us in part A is to find a general sort of equation, okay, with y in terms of x. So when you come to approach these questions, you go about setting out the equations as normal. So we look at the horizontal components and the vertical components. So the initial velocity, okay, horizontally, okay, will be the u resolved in the horizontal direction, so the u cos alpha. And the acceleration, of course, in the x direction will be 0, yeah? There's no sideways acceleration. Vertically, the initial velocity will be u resolved, so be u sine alpha for the vertical component, okay? And the acceleration then vertically, well, there will be acceleration vertically because it moves under gravity. So because acceleration, obviously, due to gravity, acts downwards, okay? It's going to be minus g, okay, with respect to our axis system. So you could put minus 9.8, but in the equation that they want us to set up, it's got it as g, right? So then, set up the four equations. So using v equals u plus at, okay, for the horizontal, the general velocity in the x direction will just be, it'll be u, which is the initial velocity there, so it'll be the u component there, okay, in the horizontal direction, plus then at, okay, at, well, a is 0, so you're adding nothing on, so my first equation is there, and that will stay the same, that will be a constant, based on whatever u and alpha is, okay, so it'll never change. Then for the vertical sort of component of the velocity, u is u sine alpha, and then of course in this case we've got minus gt, yeah, because acceleration is minus g. So equation 2. For the next two equations, we'll use for the displacement s equals ut plus half at squared. So in the horizontal direction, x will equal to ut, so be u cos alpha times t, okay, plus then half at squared. Well, of course there the a is 0, so you get x equals ut cos alpha, okay. Same then for the y. Well, y will be u sine alpha, so u times t. I say minus because it'll be half a, and of course a is minus g, so it'll be minus a half gt squared, okay. So we have that there, so we could rewrite that, so we have ut sine alpha minus half gt squared. Now, in order to get the general equation with y in terms of x, we need to eliminate t, okay. So we've got now our four equations, and I can eliminate t, okay, by rearranging equation 3 here. So we'll have t in terms of x, okay. So 3 will imply that with 3 here, I can rearrange it, so I can, some times in here with u cos alpha, I can take it down the other side, so I can have t equals to x over u cos alpha, okay. So all I'm doing is dividing those, the pair there, u cos alpha, so that's what t is, and then I can sub it then into equation 4, okay. Quite simply, so sub into equation 4, so I'll have y equals to, well, you've got ut, so be u, times t, which is x over u cos alpha, okay, times then sine alpha, okay. So I'm just replacing t here with what I've got here, so put in the bracket if you want, and then we've got minus 1/2 g, and then we've got to square the t, right, so we're going to have x over u cos alpha squared. So it's just a case then of playing around with this equation, okay, simplifying it, and you get the answer out. So the u's cancel here, don't they? Okay, you can see that. Okay, u on top, u on bottom. Sine alpha over cos alpha is tan alpha, so this becomes x tan alpha. which is what the question is asking for. Now, let's just square each of these. So it'll be x squared in there, and on the bottom it'll be u squared cos squared alpha. All right? And then we get exactly what they want. Okay, so you get then, well, the g can go on the top, gx squared over 2u squared cos squared alpha. Okay, so there's my general result there. Point of note here, okay, you could go a bit further with this if they asked, okay, because they could ask you to write this in a different form. And remember, this can be rewritten as gx squared over 2u squared, and you can write, of course, cos squared on the bottom, 1 over cos squared, because obviously sec squared, okay, and then you could even then rewrite sec squared as 1 plus tan squared alpha, okay, so you might see that sort of format used as well.